Welcome to the APEGS Continuing Professional Development Tutorial number 4. In this tutorial, we will provide you with an overview of the APEGS CPD program and your annual obligations. For more information, please refer to the CPD program document, which is available for download from the CPD page of our website. Let's begin. If you are new to the professions, you may be asking yourself, what is CPD? The APEGS CPD program is not an exercise in ticking a few boxes and entering some numbers online. Engineering and geoscience are self-regulated professions, and APEGS is the organization to which the Government of Saskatchewan has granted the privilege of regulating in order to safeguard the public. When you became registered with APEGS, it became part of your professional obligation to keep yourself informed and maintain your competence. This is mentioned in Section 20, Sub 2, Sub B, and Sub D of the regulatory bylaws. APEGS has formalized this requirement through its Continuing Professional Development Program, or CPD program. This program helps members formally demonstrate to the public their knowledge, credibility, and competence in meeting the skill demands of today, while also preparing for the environments of tomorrow. All APEGS members are required to complete 5 steps each year at a minimum. Those steps are to create a CPD plan, to earn a minimum number of credits. Those credits must come from a minimum number of activity categories, obtain 1 hour of verifiable ethics training, and to keep an ongoing record of all your professional development activities throughout the year, and then report your activity online. We will now take an in-depth look at each of these steps to help you become more familiar with your annual obligations. The first part of your annual obligation is to create a CPD plan. At the beginning of the year, or in the case of new members at their join date, members need to complete a CPD plan. That plan needs to be written down and must include a scope of practice description. Think of your plan as a roadmap for the year. You want to think about where you are now within your career and where you want to be at the end of the year. Your plan should demonstrate the steps you plan to take to get to your end goal. Members should not undertake random CPD activities that have nothing to do with their scope of practice or their career goals just to earn credit. This does not achieve the purpose of the APEGS CPD program. The CPD plan itself can take different forms. If you complete an annual plan with your employer, that document can be used as your CPD plan. If you do not, APEGS has a template members can use. It's available for download from the CPD page of the APEGS public website. The document shown here is an example of the APEGS template. For more information about this step, please see tutorial video number 2 or section 2 in the CPD program document. Now that you have a plan for the year, you can start undertaking professional development activities. Members have from January 1st to December 31st each year to earn credits by completing professional development activities. If a person joins APEGS partway through the year, their time frame for the first year will be from their join date to December 31st. It is the member's responsibility to make sure they are doing enough activity during the year to earn enough credits from enough activity categories to meet their annual requirements. There are 6 CPD activity categories: professional practice, formal activity, informal activity, participation, presentations, and contribution to knowledge. Remember that these professional development activities can take place anywhere in the world. They are also about you as a professional and not just as an engineer or geoscientist. This means that soft skills are just as important as technical skills. For more information about how many credits you need each year, please see Table 4 and Table 6 in the CPD program document or watch our tutorial video number 1. For more information about the activity categories, please read Section 3.2 of the CPD program document or watch our tutorial video number 3. Each year, members must undertake ethics training. In order to be eligible for credit, that training must meet 2 criteria. The first criteria is time. Members must take at least 1 hour of training a year. You have the option of doing the 1 hour all at once, or you can earn it in increments. If you choose to do it in increments, the increments must add up to at least 60 minutes by the end of the year to be compliant. The second criteria is that the training must be verifiable. This means that there is third-party documented proof that you completed this activity. Examples of this verification could be a certificate of completion, meeting minutes, or employer records. If you are looking for ethics training options, APEGS offers its members free 1-hour online ethics modules. Note that these modules are not mandatory. They are simply offered as one option to help members earn their ethics credit each year. If you would like to take one of our modules, please click on the CPD heading on the APEGS public website homepage, then select the Online Ethics Modules option from the drop-down menu. Please note that the ethics modules are not accessible from the member portal. They can only be found on the APEGS public website. Remember that the time spent doing your ethics training also qualifies for formal activity credit. For more information about this requirement, please see Section 3.3 in the CPD program document. Your next requirement is to track your professional development activities. Members are required to maintain some type of tracking system for their professional development. APEGS offers a spreadsheet template for members to use to help track their activity. It can be downloaded from the CPD page of the APEGS website. However, if you prefer to use a different method, that is also acceptable. Whatever method you use, you must track the following information about each professional development activity you do: the date when it occurred, a general description about the activity, who provided the activity, how many credits you earned for that particular activity, and what CPD activity category it was assigned to. For some categories, such as formal activity or contribution to knowledge, proof of completion documents are also required. In this case, you need to keep those documents along with your tracking sheets to help back up your online claims. Now, it's very important that members track their professional development activities. If you are ever selected for an assurance review, you will be required to submit all of your CPD documents to APEGS for review. If this happens, your online records must be backed up by your offline supporting documentation. For more information about your tracking requirements, please review Section 4 of the CPD program document. The final annual requirement is for members to report their CPD information online. Remember that the deadline to earn credits each year is December 31st. While members can update their online information at any time during the year, the deadline to have all information entered online is January 31st of the following year, so 1 month after the credit earning deadline. It's important to note that January 1st to January 31st should not be considered extra time to earn credits for the previous year. This time is instead to be used for earning credits for the current year and for reporting the previous year's credits online. All APEGS members, except those granted life member status, must update their APEGS CPD online account each year. For information about your online reporting responsibilities, please refer to Table 5 in the CPD program document. If you need assistance in using our database to enter your information online, please see our step-by-step how-to guides. They can be downloaded from the CPD page of the APEGS public website. As we mentioned before, you are responsible for retaining personal copies of all your CPD documentation for at least 3 years. At a minimum, the documents you need to keep are your CPD plans, your CPD tracking spreadsheets, and all of your verification documents, such as your certificates of completion. These documents are to be kept by you and only sent to APEGS if you are specifically asked for your records. We encourage members to keep their records where they can always be accessed. We have encountered members who switched jobs and had all their records stored with their previous employer, or were sent home because of the pandemic and did not have copies of their records at home. Note that this is not an acceptable reason for not submitting your records to APEGS on time, so make sure you plan accordingly for life changes. Now, when you enter your information online, you will note that APEGS only asks for a summary of your information. If you were ever selected for an assurance review, APEGS will ask to see all your CPD documentation to verify your claims online. For example, when you enter your information online, you may make an entry to show 25 credits in informal activity. When APEGS asks to see your records, you must produce your detailed records to show all the activities you undertook to support your claim of 25 credits. If you cannot back up your online claims, you risk being flagged for falsifying records and having your file referred to the investigation committee. APEGS recognizes that situations do arise when a member is not able to meet their CPD requirements for the year. To assist members in these extenuating circumstances, the CPD Variation Program was developed. This program allows members to apply for a reduction for the current reporting year. The application is assessed by APEGS and the CPD Compliance Committee, and the application is either approved with or without modifications, or it is denied. Common circumstances for why you might want to apply for a variation include medical leave, retirement, parental leave, full-time study, unemployment, working less than full-time in the professions, or not working in the professions at all. If you find yourself in one of these situations, you must complete a variation application each year it is needed and submit it to APEGS on or before September 30th. Applications submitted after this deadline will not be accepted. If your situation is ongoing, you will need to apply for a variation each year it is needed. One variation application will not cover you indefinitely. For more information, please refer to Section 5 of the CPD program document. The variation application form can be downloaded from the CPD page of the APEGS public website. If you did not meet your annual CPD requirements for a given year, you must complete a CPD remediation plan and submit it to APEGS for review. The remediation plan is like a contract that states what specific actions you will take the following year to make up for your missing requirements from the previous year. Note that the remediation plan activities are in addition to your current year's requirements. Here's an example scenario. Member A was required to obtain 80 credits in 3 categories for 2020. This member was only able to obtain 60 of those credits in 2020 and is required to submit a remediation plan for the missing 20 credits. Member A's 2021 regular requirements are again to obtain 80 credits in 3 categories. But after this member's remediation plan is approved, Member A actually has to obtain 100 credits for 2021. By not completing your annual requirements each year, you are actually giving yourself more work to do in the future. This is why it is very important that members take their professional development requirements seriously. Here's an example of a CPD remediation plan. In this example, the member was not able to meet their requirements for 2020, so they submitted a remediation plan in early January 2021 to show what activities they will do in 2021 to make up for the missing 16 credits. Before you submit a CPD remediation plan, please ensure that your CPD online record is up to date. For example, on this remediation plan, it states that Member A was able to obtain 64 credits this year. This means that Member A's online profile should also show 64 credits on their 2020 online record. If Member A's online profile showed 0 credits, then APEGS would assign Member A a remediation plan for the full 80 credits, not for the 16 credits the member was asking for. This brings us to the end of tutorial number 4. By completing this tutorial, you can claim 15 minutes under informal activity. If you have additional questions about the CPD program, you can either review the other online tutorials we have available, you can refer to the CPD program document, which can be downloaded from the CPD page of the APEGS website, or you can email the CPD department at cpd@apegs.ca. Thank you for watching.